New year, new batch of physical goodies in the East. Let's take a look at all the games that have caught my eye that are releasing in Japan or Asia in 2021 that I think may be worth an import. Just remember that all information at the time of recording is thought to be correct, but things can and do change. Some of these imports may get a Western release in the future, and more information may come to light closer to release. There's always a little bit of danger. With that in mind, let's take a look at a handful of Switch imports in the early part of 2021 that I want to get my mitts on. Wing of Darkness is a high-speed mech shooter as you fly the skies in a big robot and blast the crap out of things. You can't get more Japanese than that. The footage I'm showing is fairly early on in development, I think. It's footage from early 2019, but it's looking pretty swell. If you're into mech simulators or just blowing crap up in a robot suit, then I think this one will be one to take a look at. A few months ago, I reached out to the publisher who said that there are no plans for a Western release at the moment, but you know, things can change. And the Asian and Japanese versions should have English on the cartridge. There's a standard edition alongside a collector's edition which comes with a soundtrack, pins, crest, acrylic, figurine, sticker sheet, fan book, and a secret item. Ooh, mysterious. The artwork is looking great and I definitely want to have this one in my collection. This is due on February 25th. Forward to the Sky is releasing in Japan, also on February 25th. This is a cool looking puzzle platform game with some chilled visuals and peaceful music. It's very simple looking, but you know, I don't know what it is. The older I get, the less I need AAA games in my life. Just give me something simple, wholesome and charming and I'm good. What I'm trying to say is, I want everything to be a Dreamcast game. And this appeals to me quite a lot. There's a standard edition as well as a collector's edition which includes an acrylic figure, art book, soundtrack, and theme song CD. Since it's by Kosen, it's probably going to be packaged much like their Fight of Gods and Panty Party physicals, which is nice. It definitely has English, and I'm down for this. Okay guys, just remember, if any of these games in this list here take your fancy and you'd like to import them for yourself, then in the description and the pinned comment below, I have put all the links for you that you will need if you want them in your collection. They are affiliate links, so any purchase that you make massively helps out the channel. Really, you have no idea. We thank you ever so much for your support. In return, if you use our links, you can get a nice 5% off any physical item with the coupon code SwitchWatchTV. That's all one word, while checking out SwitchWatch TV, and you get a nice 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia. In 2019, we got a fantastic import exclusive of SD Gundam G-Generation Cross-Rays. Well, this year in March 2021, we're getting the Game of the Year style version of this release called the Platinum Edition, which includes the Season Pass and Expansion Pass, plus all the free downloadable content, all included on the Switch cartridge, which seems to be better than the PS4 version, which actually has download codes. This is a great strategy game, one I've featured many times, and the original release was a very popular import. This looks to be even better value as PlayAsia have it for less than $60, and if you bought the original, that was pricey. Now, languages are not confirmed as this announcement is pretty much straight off the press, but considering the original release had English, it would be mightily strange if this did not. But yeah, keep an eye out for announcements on that. Sadly, it does not include the free WonderSwan game, but then again, that did not have English, so not a big deal for us really. March 25th for this one. If you didn't get the original, I highly recommend this one. Alright, Steam Prison is an Otomi visual novel, one of the few released in Japan that have English on the cartridge. There's not a whole lot to say about this release, as it's not a genre we are wholly familiar with here. There's no word of a Western physical at the minute, but games like this have released by publishers such as Axis Games in the West, so it's not out of the question. This is due for February 25th in Japan. Star Renegades is getting a physical release in Japan. I know, as of the time of writing, the publisher Raw Fury are working on getting a physical Western deal signed by someone somewhere. But if you don't fancy waiting around, then this is a good option for those who want it now. English is supposedly on this version according to the developer. Not sure about what version the game is, since I know at launch it wasn't in the best of states. Hopefully it has a few patches on the cartridge. This is also due for February 25th in Japan. Soccer Club Live Playing Manager is an interesting upcoming import exclusive. In the West, this game is known as New Star Manager. This is essentially the same game as New Star Manager, but with some additions and tweaks, and yes, it does have English. If you want Footy Manager physically, then this is your best bet. It's a lighter take on the genre, but as someone who was addicted, and I'm meaning that very, very seriously, to Football Manager about 10 years ago, this does have a lot of appeal to me. There are no plans for a Western physical release unless sales of the Japanese version do surprisingly well. That's what the developer told me. This is due in Japan on February 10th. Ghostrunner is getting a physical release in Japan and Asia. Released digitally already in the West, the port was a bit rough around the edges to say the least, but it's an interesting title and very cool looking. Now, according to PlayAsia, the Asian release for sure does have English, and the Japanese release should have it too. Anyways, this is a first-person action game in a cyberpunk setting, which is all the rage these days. January 28th is the day the Ghost will run physically on the Switch. I have not personally heard about a Western physical version of this yet. Citizens Unite is a double pack of indie RPGs, Citizens of Earth and Citizens of Space, featuring a lot of humor and a similar vibe to something like Earthbound and Paper Mario. You've got yourself a pretty nice package to have physically. According to the publisher Kemco, there are no current plans for a Western physical, but of course, plans may change. They have English, so if you want two very, very solid RPGs, then look no further than Citizens Unite when it lands on January 28th. Marchen Forest, Mylne and the Forest Gift is a cute-looking JRPG. I'm getting reminders of Witch Spring 3 of this one, although with a little bit more budget to it. Well, maybe anyways. It's a JRPG, which means it's got my interest immensely, and although the trailer doesn't give too much away in terms of gameplay, the game's website has loads of gifs to show off what to expect, and it's got me pretty pumped if I'm being honest. I like my cheap, cheerful JRPGs that have some heart to them, and I'm hoping this one is going to be a good one. This is coming in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, which comes with a figurine of Mylne, who I assume is the main character of the game. I expect to see this with English on the cartridge on January 28th. Are you enjoying this list so far? Well, if you are, consider hitting that subscribe button and the little bell to keep up to date with everything we do. Every Monday, I make videos showing all the physical releases every week with all the latest information. Plus, we have reviews and also try to save you some money every Sunday as James takes you through all the best digital bargains. Don't miss it, subscribe. Friends of Ringo Ishikawa and Arrest of Stone Butter is another double pack. Japan love their value. Anyways, both of these are interesting games, very similar in nature, mixing sort of survival life sim elements and side-scrolling action. They're both developed by the same people and it shows. I think they kind of hit or miss in terms of if they gel with the gamer or not, but those who it clicks with tend to love them. And after missing out on limited run's distribution effort of Ringo, this will definitely be a great addition to the collection, especially as it's 2-in-1, with the game not released physically anywhere else. So yeah, I'll be getting this one when it lands on January 28th in Japan. Samurai Jack Battle Through Time is getting a physical release in Japan. This is an action game based on the well-loved cartoon. Limited Run had their mitts on this one with a pre-order period already over, but if you missed out, then you can always pick up the Japanese version. According to the Japanese eShop, this physical release should have English, but you know, stranger things have happened, especially when Limited Run are involved. But yeah, I think fans of the TV show will definitely need this action game in their collection, as I think it's rather decent enough for a game for what is essentially a licensed tie-in. January 21st for this one. Muse Dash is a bit of a maybe. Muse Dash is releasing in Japan later this year. According to the eShop, the Japanese release should have English. There's no word of a Western physical at the moment. This is a rhythm game full of incredibly colourful visuals, great music, and simple but effective gameplay. James reviewed this one for the channel, I believe, when it released digitally, so check out his review for more in-depth information. This Japanese release, there's a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, which includes a mini soundtrack, decal sticker, a stand, and a special box. It looks super colourful, and I'm all in on this one. April 8th for this one, a bit of a wait. Raiden 4 Cross Mikado Remix is a bit of an uncertainty. I have to be honest, I don't know much about this release in terms of potential Western release or even language options. I have no idea, but I am mentioning it because it's worth keeping an eye on. A high-octane shooter remix for a more modern console. This is hopefully the definitive edition of the game. It originally was met with slight ire due to content and DLC practices, but came back with vengeance with its Overkill re-release on PC. This one has a brand new soundtrack and is due for release on April 22nd. Keep tabs on this one to see where it's going in terms of regions, but for now, only Japan is announced. And finally, to do just a little bit of tidying up, our friends at East Asia Soft have a raft of games getting ready to be sent out of Hong Kong early this year. The following releases are Play Asia exclusives. You can only buy them from Play Asia. ScourgeBringer is due out sometime this month. This is an action roguelike that channels the spirit of Dead Cells with Celeste. Probably not coming close to those two masterpieces, but this is a fine effort nonetheless. I think this is going to be a pretty big one for Play Asia. There's a standard edition and a collector's edition, which is only $5 more, and comes with a soundtrack CD, manual certificate, and mini keychain. If My Heart Had Wings is starting to get sent out around this time that I'm writing, one would assume that it's all ready to go by the time this video is actually edited together, but I'll add it in just in case you missed it. This is a beautiful looking visual novel. The standard edition is available, plus the limited collector's edition, which comes with an art book, soundtrack CD, certificate, and keychain. SeaBed is a Yuri visual novel, meaning girl-on-girl action. This has been delayed indefinitely due to issues updating the game on the developer side of things, but hopefully it's not too far away. There's a standard edition and limited edition, which comes with a soundtrack CD and a set of postcards and certificate. The Distraint Collection is another one being delayed indefinitely. This is a double pack of surreal horror games, very weird looking but oddly appealing, at least to me. Again, this comes with the standard edition or collector's edition with the soundtrack and certificate. And also, just to end it, I've also had a lot of people ask me about One Step from Eden. They've seen this available in Japan soon and want to know if it's worth an import. The answer is no. Originally, the developer said it would have English, but then a few weeks later they backtracked on that and said actually English would not be included. But you should expect to see a Western physical announcement sometime soon. Considering English has been taken out, I'm gonna guess a limited run. Seems like something they would do. But yeah, hold fire, a Western version is coming. Do not buy the Japanese version unless you understand Japanese. And there we have it, guys. Remember, if any of these games take your fancy, take a look at the import links below to support us. Speaking of support, many thanks to our YouTube members and our executive producers, Gannicus, Alolan Jojo, Santa Tartaruga, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Dane Wilkinson, Alexander Cato, and God of Resin, plus you, yes, you watching right now. If you watch all the way through this, you're a legend of the highest order. The longer you watch, the more it helps us grow. YouTube likes us more, I guess. Be sure to check out the best imports of 2020 video. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to take your fancy there. Plus, check out James's Bargains video every week. We'll see you over there. Take care.